G'day, Jason here from In Search of Australia. Today I'm at Grabben Gullen Creek searching for sapphires. I'm going to try different sections of the creek and different types of areas, so we'll see what we get. First I'm going to start behind the boulders near the bridge. Grabben Gullen Public Prospecting Area is along Sapphire Road just outside Grabben Gullen. It sits just by the bridge going over Grabben Gullen Creek. As it is a public prospecting area, no fossicking licence is required to go here. The name Grabben Gullen is indigenous and means small waters. So the first section I'm going to do is the bridge. I'll try under the boulders there next to the bridge and some boulders here. We'll see if I get any sapphires. There are some boulders under the bridge, but I'm not so sure with those rapids whether there'll be a lot there. I'll see if I can find a deep drop off or something and dig behind those, as well as some boulders further back upstream. So the process I'm going to do is I'll classify through my little homemade grill there into that bucket. Then I'll remove what's left there into the sieves over the pan, sift that through. So essentially, start that again. A little bit of indicator rock there in the middle. It's not substantial though. I'm glad I put things through the pan. There's a nice little flake of gold right there. Not to be confused with the mica. And here's why having a sluice is so handy. Look at all the indicators. There's more there than the quartz. So we got one sapphire, a zircon, another zircon. These are all sitting on top. So I'll knock it back and see what's underneath. And another piece of good gold. Looks almost exactly the same shape. So there's a couple of little sapphire, lots of little zircon, a nail, and the most surprising part, a nice flake of gold there. A couple of others just over here. See if I can get it to focus on them. It's about 3, one larger one, and then those 2. This is a good opportunity to talk about fool's gold. Fool's gold meaning it's not really gold, it looks a lot like gold, but this is mica. And it's very light, it's floating around in big clouds and across the riverbed. So a lot of people might be fooled into thinking they've found some gold, when in fact they haven't. The best test is to squash it. You can see after I crushed it, all little layers spread out, and it literally flies away. It's not heavy whatsoever. The rock's covered in mica or pyrite. It's everywhere. See it glittering there. Whenever I kick stuff up, you'll see it glitter past. So I got a few from the bridge, some gold as well, which was a bit surprising. I'm now going to try a little bit further upriver at this large boulder. This group of boulders across the other side of the creek here tend to have rapids, but that larger one there has a little eddy in front of it, so I'm wondering if anything's dropped down in front of it, either side. There seems to be a layer of grey gravel, so I'm wondering if that's a good sign. If that's the case, then I'll know to look for it in future. So that boulder struck out big time. There's barely any indicators. No gold, nothing. So watching the rapids head off on the left there, and the bend being here, I'm going to try in the bank, sort of on the water's edge. So it looks like I get much more success in the bank there. Really difficult to see because of the lack of sun, but there's a sapphire. Okay, we're from the bank. Got this little sapphire and a zircon. There's no gold. There's a couple more zircon. Maybe a bit deeper. I'll try one more shovel down deep. Got a little yabby. Just going to release him somewhere away from where I'm digging. Now something in my sieve gave me a slight heart attack. I don't think it's a sapphire. I think it's smoky quartz, but it's got a green hue or a green blue hue when you look in the sun. I got the red version. Again, I don't think this is zircon or garnet. But easy to fool someone. Quite big too. The sun has lowered in the sky too far for me to go around the other side of the bend, so I've returned to where I got the most sapphires and where I actually got the gold. It's quite a large flake amongst it, so I'm going to go back into that and use the yabby pump. Now, of course, I can hear a lot rattling down here. It's getting caught in this cap, so when I take the cap off, I've got to be really careful. This is starting to look like Devil's Mountain again. Might be aliens visiting soon. So the yabby pump works. I got a few green sapphire fragments and a few specks of gold out of the crevices. Be worth having a look at those crevices upstream if you're allowed to. As I post these videos for places to go, I don't really want to get people in trouble. So I'm not going to go past the gate or the fence at this point, even though it's open. I just think that's the best thing to do at this point. Then I might ask at the information centre in Crookwell or something. Well, there's a colourful rock. I used to have these where you'd have please take somewhere else and record it at a certain website. Don't know whether this is one of those. There's some serious digging. I wonder if it was worth it in the end. I don't know whether that person's purposely done this or it's just collapsed. You'd hope they purposely did it, but I don't think so, because they could have put all the rocks back in and refilled it. So I didn't dig into the bank because I really feel it's a lot of effort and hit and miss, and then of course you've got to fill your holes. I really stress that if people keep doing this, they'll start locking these places down just because of the erosion it causes. A way to determine what sort of gemstone you have is to work out its specific gravity. So each gemstone has its own specific gravity, which helps identify it. So I've got a sapphire here that I found at Native Dog Creek, and hopefully we'll focus on it. There we go. I'm going to use that to test the process. Just move that up, there we go. So the very first thing we need to do is weigh the sapphire. .209. Okay. We then get our container of water. And our wire, so I'm going to dip it down just a bit below the surface there for where I hold it, tear it off. And now I can get the sapphire, put it in the wire. Oops, do that again. And we dip it into the water without touching sides or bottom. In 0.046. So then what we do is we divide the 0.209 by 0.046. So it's not absolutely accurate, but I got 4.5 as a result. And 4.5 for the sapphire seems about right to determine it's a sapphire. So now we're going to go through the same process with one of these gemstones that I'm not completely clear what they are. I believe it's quartz. Now quartz comes in at 2.65, so I'll weigh that. 0.465. Problem tearing. There we go. So 0.465. And now I'm going to put the quartz in the wire. Well, I think it's quartz. I'd be very surprised if it's a sapphire. getting 0.180. Which equals 2.58. So, as I suspected, that is quartz. We can try it with this one. Tear it off again. 0.620. And weigh it submerged. Getting 0.242. So we divide it. 0.620 divided by 0.242, which equals 2.56. Sorry, I just dropped my gemstones. So, as we can see, that's actually quartz as well, which is what I suspected. This little fellow is interested in what I'm looking at. He's come in to look at the gemstones. They're very curious, these things. I like king parrots. So I got a variety of colours there. You can see quite a few blue sapphire, but a lot of green sapphire as well. Some of these aren't so obvious until I lift into the light. What I am really interested in is that purple stone at the bottom there. I'm not really sure what that could be. You can probably tell me in the comments what it potentially could be. But there's definitely gemstones there, just not anything sizable that I found. Grabben Gullen delivers lots of different gemstones, not really that sizable. I got nothing in my sieve. However, there was a surprise amount of gold. Quite a few specks there and considerable size, much better than what I got at Abercrombie Junction. So I'll be back here, I think, with a bit more of an idea and plan to go for bigger ones if I can. I hope you enjoyed it.